Formula One cars never raced at Thruxton, but Formula One drivers certainly did. As we celebrate 50 years at this beautiful, very fast, very bumpy and relatively dangerous circuit southwest of London, we think of drivers like Jochen Rindt, Jackie Stewart, Ronnie Peterson, and in more recent times, Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell, all of whom featured strongly in the history of Thruxton circuit. Back in the day, you could queue up in the canteen, order your sausages and mash with Jochen Rindt in front of you, or perhaps Jackie Stewart holding a tray behind you. Today, they are opening the new Thruxton Centre and doing so in style with Nigel Mansell and that famous BBC Formula One commentator, Murray Walker.
It's one of the lasting circuits which haven't been sterilised in the world, and it's kept its identity, and all credit to the BARC. And I think the track is iconic.
How quick and how demanding was that right hand around the back? Bumps and all.
Yeah, with a drying track, being slippy, being a little bit wet, and even when it's fully dry, it got your attention all the time, Peter, as you well know, and exciting corner.
Murray, how are you doing these days? Wonderful to see you.
And it's about the first time, Peter, that I've been to Thruxton without my dime-out underwear. I'm fine, thank you.
What's your workout routine these days?
To do as little as possible, as energetically as I can.
Not a great-looking building in the context of Thruxton today, but it was right there, standing outside, that I had a long chat to Ayrton Senna in 1982. I was just a journalist then, chatting to Ayrton about the fact that he was going to retire from motor racing. He'd had a great season in Ford 2000. He'd won everything, basically. Well, Calvin Fish was quick that year, but Ayrton was the champion. But he decided that he was going to retire because he had no sponsorship to get through to Formula 3 in 1983, and this was it. He was chatting about Brazil, what he was going to do when he got back to Brazil. Of course, Ayrton did get a break, mainly through Dick Bennett of West Surrey Engineering, who ran him in Formula 3, and in 1983, Ayrton won the British Formula 3 Championship, but he won it in very, very curious conditions.
Ayrton mentioned that it took a couple of laps for the engine to perform better. So what we tested at Snetterton was some tape over the hole that cooled the oil tank, which ran the oil temperature. So we tested it successfully at Snetterton. So we thought, right, we'll get an unfair advantage here at Thruxton for the final round. But we'd underestimated the speed of what the car would arrive at the chicane with. So poor Ayrton had to actually loosen his seatbelts off to lean out to take the tape off, because if he didn't take the tape off, we probably would have blown the engine and lost the championship. So we had a great laugh about it Sunday night after we won the championship, but actually during the race I thought this could have easily backfired on us, but you know, it didn't, thank goodness.
So this is the 1983 FW08C, so the car with which is sort of known that year for winning Monaco with Keke Rosberg, and also giving Ayrton Senna his first laps in a Formula One car that summer at Donington. This particular one is chassis 12, so the last of the cars made to cover the 82 and 83 seasons. It's our prime museum car.
It's very different to everywhere else we go. It's so fast all the way around the back from the complex to the chicane. It's pretty cool to come here in a Formula One car 15 years after I raced here in F3. So you know, we were pulling just under 10,000 RPM coming up to the chicane, so you know, over 170 mile an hour, I think, from the ratio calculations we got. Old school, obviously, just a tack, no digital dashboard. Yeah, I still remember how to heel and toe. And I think it's a bit of a shame that a lot of drivers you meet today have never raced a manual gearbox. You know, nowadays, they're entry-level F4 Formula Renaults, they're already on paddle shift. And I think it gets you thinking a lot more. I drove the FW8C in Monaco as well, and you know, you suddenly have to think so much more about gear selection and where you want to change gear and have two hands on the wheel. And I think as a driver, it makes you a better driver.
Thruxton with this fab new building and its beautiful viewing area. It's not only, of course, paying homage to its past and looking forward to a very rosy future, but also what I love about it most is that we can finally get a decent view of Allard. Yes, I've queued up on the outside to get on the bank, but sometimes it's too crowded. Now we can watch Allard turn one, a great turn one after the start, a quick corner where there is overtaking going into the Campbell chicane there. Now we can watch that section in all its glory and with a bit of style.